about using a companion website or an associated website. First of all, I want to talk about the concept of the companion website, or you can call it an associated website. Last week we talked about, well, for the prior 2 weeks, the previous 2 weeks, we've talked about YouTube optimization, which include channel optimization and authority building, and also last week was YouTube on-page optimization for ranking, for optimizing the actual video, the video watch page, or a live stream, a streamed video, okay? But one of the things that we talked about 2 weeks ago when we talked about channel optimization was adding what's called an associated website, okay? And that's where I've talked many times about if you're just getting started, I would suggest just starting off with just a YouTube channel, only because if you're just getting started and you're not sure about whether you're going to have any success in a particular industry or a niche, then if you just start with the YouTube channel, it's free, right? And you can test that industry or that niche. You can test those keywords that you're trying to rank using just the YouTube channel, and that will keep your costs down and it will keep your workload down, okay? But if you're going to go, if you found a niche that you're having success in, or that you know for sure that you're going to stick in, you're going to stay within, then I recommend always to set up an associated website. It adds a ton of additional authority to both the network itself, your YouTube channel as well, and also it gives you some really cool things that you can do. Plus, you want to really push a lot of that authority back to your own website because you have ultimate control over that. Remember, we're using YouTube, guys, but we don't own it. So YouTube could terminate your channel. And so if you're relying 100% on YouTube alone and you don't have a companion website, you're leaving yourself open for catastrophe, I should say, if something were to happen and your channel was to get shut down. Now, if you had a companion website, don't get me wrong, it would be pretty difficult. It would be pretty devastating to your companion website as well if all of your videos disappeared because your channel got shut down. But you'd at least have an asset, the website, that would have some authority that you could, theoretically, start another channel and just repopulate each one of those pages with a new embed code from the new channel, and at least your site would still have its authority, right? So it just makes more sense that if you're going to be doing this long term, or if you have something that you really want to build a brand in, that you have an associated website with it as well, okay? So with that said, I want to talk about, some setup stuff. How to set some of these up, and like some of the tools and things that we use to set these up. There's obviously some of them that we're going to mention today are premium tools. They're not necessary. You can do everything 100% with free options, but there's some things that we can use that are going to make things easier. We're going to make it more effective, and we're going to talk about that because I'm not, guys, I'm going to show you multiple options here and let you make the decision what you want to do. If you're going to be serious about your business, obviously there should be an investment made in your business. We talked about that in week 1, where you set a marketing budget that you can invest into your business, which will make your job a hell of a lot easier. And part of that includes buying tools and things like that. However, you can do all of this if you don't have money but you have time. You can do it by just investing your time and doing it manually. I'm going to show you both ways so that you have that option. But again, if you're going to be serious about your business, I recommend spending some money on the tools that will make things easier. Or get out there and make some money with your networks and then reinvest some of that revenue into your business, okay? So with that said, themes, guys, I've got a little cheat sheet here we're going to open up. And, okay, so with the different types of themes that you can use on your website for video stuff, like I would typically just look for, themes that display videos well. And there are some themes that are set up specifically for videos because of the other sites that are so popular, like Pinterest, for example, is a great site because it's I personally don't do anything on Pinterest, okay, but it's a highly shareable type of site. The way it's got those tiles of images and things like that, and it's been one of the most popular layouts of all time for engagement. Is Pinterest. So there are several different types of website themes that you can use and everything I'm going to talk about is WordPress based, guys. So that's all I know. That's all I use. So we're going to talk about WordPress stuff. But there are several different types of Pinboard or Pinterest type themes. And guys, I'm just going to show you some recommendations of some stuff that I have used or that I still use now. And then you guys can also look for your own stuff as well. Why does this wheel keep spinning on this? It's been spinning for like 10 minutes. There must be a script on this page. Anyways. All right, so here is one of them, guys. This is, and I'm going to drop these links over in here for you, Adam, if you want to drop them in the page for me, please. This is a paid theme. It's called Pinboard by Themify. It's a really cool theme that has these kind of like Pinterest type things that are. It's great for video as well. It's like these tiles, okay, and they've got the social buttons and stuff. This looks like an older screenshot of it. But this, like I said, this is just a demo, or you can see the demo site here if you want. I mean, this is a paid theme, but again, these types of themes are very, very effective. So I highly recommend those. Here's a free version that I found. It's not quite as robust, obviously, because it's free. Let me post this in chat. But I'll show you this one as well, and then I'll show you the ones that I like to use. This one is called Pinboard, and this is a free version. So, like again, if you're just starting out, I have not personally used this one, but I found it because it's very similar to the paid upgrade version. The paid versions of like the Pinboard by Themify that I just showed you. So I have not actually personally tested this one, but I think would be worth a test because it's free. Okay, guys, and these are great for, like I said, for the video type themes because of their layout. And this is by no means whatsoever an exhaustive list. If you guys need us to come up with a list of more themes like this, we can certainly probably do that for you.
Real quick, Bradley, are you showing them the themes right now or on your screen?
Oh, my bad. I probably just.
Yeah, we're not seeing it.
What are you?
But
seeing?
I did give the link, so I mean people can check them out.
Oh, okay, you guys were just seeing the presentation. I see. I wasn't sharing my whole screen. That's what the problem was. My bad. Thank you for jumping in. How about now? You guys can see my screen now, right?
There we go. Good to go.
Yep. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. So the first one, this is the one I was showing just a moment ago by Themify. It's a paid theme. I have used this one. I have this theme, and it's a good theme. I'm going to show you an alternative that's even better to this in just a moment, which is also paid. But this is a great theme, guys. So, like I said, this is the kind of theme that gets a lot of engagement. I think it looks sharp. It's got the social buttons and stuff right on it. And then when somebody clicks on it, they can either watch the video right from the main page, the main home page, or if they click on the title, it'll open up in the post. The post URL will open up. That specific post will open up, and it will be a large video with the content underneath and everything else. So, again, very cool theme. This is the one that I was just talking about that was free. Pinboard. This again, I have not tested this one, but I think it would be worth testing because it is free. So you can check that one out as well. And again, just what you can do is just search Google for video themes, video WordPress themes. I have been through probably at least a dozen different WordPress themes for videos, and a lot of them I don't like. Most of them I don't like. So there's just a few that I end up using. One that I'm going to show you today because I've got some things I want to show you with. Is the howtoseo.us, which is what I have built a big network for, just for like random YouTube videos that we syndicate SEO related stuff. This one right here, this is actually a theme that Peter Garrity sold. I don't know if it's still for sale, but it was called like Pin something or another. And I don't know if it's still for sale or not. If anybody was interested in something like this, I could probably find out. I just have to contact Peter Garrity. I don't know if it's still available for sale or not. It was dirt cheap too. It was like a 100-site license for like $10. I don't know if that's probably a launch price, but this is one. It's very simple, but it's the same kind of idea, the same concept. It's got the tiles, right? Each one of these are like video posts. All right. Another one, I know that he just there's another video site theme that he called WP Video Magnet or something. I don't remember what it's called, but he released another one that's pretty cool. I've got it, but it's a beast to set up, and I don't like sites that take a ton of time to set up. I don't have time for that. I like simple sites that are easy to set up. So the next one that I do want to show you is the upgrade to the Pinboard theme that I just showed you from Themify. And this one has been developed by, it's a child theme, or it's been recoded by Network Empire, who I am, I've been a student of Network Empire for a while. But this is a semantic child theme, and I'm going to show you a live example of this in a moment. Guys, here, I'm going to put this in chat. You can buy this directly from Kevin Pauly. He's the one that coded this with semantic markup. We're going to talk about structured data today, too, so we're going to move past these themes here in just a moment. But I wanted to talk about this. This is a semantic WordPress theme. Guys, we're in the semantic web, okay? So one thing we're going to talk about today is we're not going to get into depth because that's beyond the scope of masterclass, but we're going to talk about structured data and its importance in the semantic web and its importance going forward, because remember, the web is moving away from being a link-based web that ranks, ranking things in the search engine because of links, and going more towards semantic relationships and semantic markups, and that's where we're moving in that direction, albeit slower than probably what we would have expected. It is moving in that direction, and so getting to understand what structured data is and how to take advantage of it and to utilize it properly is going to give you a massive advantage. You guys already, even if you don't know it, by learning what you've learned with stacking social profiles and building themed networks with a strong identity, in other words, our personas, you are actually working with the semantic web instead of against it. You might not even understand that yet. Maybe some of you do on here, and that's great. But by building out the personas the way that we do with a strong theme that have an identity, that are tightly interwoven with their other social profiles, that is, you're playing inside of the semantic web's rules, and that's part of the reason why they work so well and they're so strong. Okay, but there's a lot of stuff that we haven't gotten into with you guys yet, and that we're going to continue to get into with the mastermind as we learn more about it too, because I'm still learning about the semantic web is like in its infancy now, guys, but semantic markup is very important. So that said, this is a theme that Kevin Pauly of Network Empire, he coded this using the Pinboard theme that we just saw from Themify, and I'm going to show you a live example here in just a moment. But he basically coded it, marked everything up in the entire theme. Everything is marked up with semantic or structured data. So it makes it a very, very powerful theme, okay? It's just an SEO powerhouse theme. So let me go ahead without teasing you anymore, and I don't typically share this with people, but you guys probably saw a lot of this in the IFTTT training anyways. This is the live example. This is vahangouts.com. This is what I used in the training. And this is a network that I use to just promote some Virginia businesses. It's one of the video SEO companies that I do work for, or the video production companies that I do work for. They rent space on this network, in other words, for me to rank some of the videos. You can see some of them here. And I use this for testing, like I was testing a keyword here. So anyways, this is vahangouts.com. If you guys want to go to it, you can, and it's funny because I bet I'll see a bunch of people pop up right here if you do. So if you want to drop this in, I don't care if you want to go look at that. I'm Adam, and I'll refresh the screen in a minute because it'll be interesting to see who else pops up on here. But vahangouts.com, guys, this is that semantic pinboard theme that I just showed you by Kevin Pauly. It's a very, very cool theme, and we're going to talk about, I'm going to share a link about structured data here in just a moment, and then I'm going to show you some examples of why structured data is important a little bit later in this presentation. So about 15 or 20 minutes from now, we'll get to that. All right, but I love this theme because it's very simple to set up. Okay, it's real simple to set up, and it's completely semantic friendly. Everything in this entire site or website or about this theme itself has been marked up with structured data. So it's very, very powerful for SEO, okay? So actually, let me refresh the site and see if anybody's on here yet. I'm curious to see. Yeah, look, there's a few people, not many, but there's a few extras. That's interesting. So this is, like I said, this is just a really, really good theme, and we're gonna dig into this a little bit deeper in a moment, where you can actually see the markup, okay? But I don't want to get too advanced with this, guys, because that's not the point. I just want you to know that a semantic theme is a good investment for this because it's going to help you to rank your videos and going forward, okay? So when we talk about structured data, I want to share this link with you guys because if you want to know more about structured data and its importance to Google and moving forward, Adam, I just dropped that link in there, please, if you can post that. This is Google's developers page about semantic or structured data. If you want to read through this, it's there's a few different drop downs here which can take you. They're not real long posts, guys, but this will give you an idea of what structured data is. I highly recommend that you take an hour and read through this, through all of these, so that you can get an understanding of what semantic markup is and why you should be using it, and how you can utilize a lot of Google's own free tools to help you to mark your properties up properly. Now, I am not a semantic coder because I just use stuff that other people create that are much better at that stuff than me, right? So that's not my strong suit. But I'm going to point out some things today. For example, like what that theme that I just showed you by Kevin Pauly, he's really, really good at structured data. So when he coded that theme is something that I like to use because it's done right, okay? We're going to talk about some additional, like how to mark up videos and stuff like that in a minute, the actual videos that we embed on our sites as well. By the way, when using a semantic theme, like Kevin Pauly's especially, when you use that particular theme, when you add it or embed a video, you don't have to do anything else to it. It's already marked up as a video object, and I'm going to prove that in a few minutes, guys. But what I mean by that is if you take a look on this page, guys, at the bottom where it says testing, there's a drop-down. If you click on the drop-down, there's what's called a structured data testing tool here. If you click on that, this is where you can test markup. You can test to see if something has got structured data, if it's been marked up correctly or not. It will give you error messages if it hasn't. What you can do is you can paste in your source code here, so like your HTML code, which will have semantic coding, semantic markup, if you're trying to test this yourself, or if you just go to fetch URL. Again, guys, this is not a code track class, so I'm not going to talk about that here. But if you want to just check to see if something is marked up properly, go to fetch URL and click that, and instead you can paste the URL in here. So to give you an example of what I'm talking about, let's just go ahead and take this. I just posted this within like the last 2 days, I think. I'm going to just copy that or open that up. We'll grab this. There's more people on here now. Look. Oh, somebody's way the hell down here. Where's that? Curious as to where that is.
South Africa.
Oh, is it? I guess you're right. Anyways, guys, if you grab the URL from from a post, for example, and you go over to the structured data testing tool, and we'll paste that in and click fetch and validate. It just takes a second to read, and you can see over here that we have we're getting the check marks. If you hit the drop down, it'll show you the markup and what it's looking at here, guys. And again, I'm not going to get too deep into this because just read through the Google Developer Structured Data link that I just gave you. It'll explain a lot of this to you. But what's cool is that you can see that this has been marked up as an article, okay? Even though it's just, and look, I didn't put any content in here other than just a link back to the video. But you can see that this is just a video and it's been marked up as an article. But if we take a look at this, you'll see within the structured data that we have the name, which is basically the title. We've got the URL, the description, the art, which is the meta description, which I didn't actually type one out anyways, but the article body. Then you have what's important for what we do, guys, with the video stuff is right here. It's video object. All right. So now this is a marked up video, which means that this post, if it ranks in Google, or when it ranks in Google, it can display the video thumbnail. Remember, Google got rid of that, guys. I don't know if you remember, but Google was getting rid of video thumbnails for anything other than YouTube, except if it's properly marked up with structured data, then it will still display the video thumbnail for even a website URL, as long as it's proper structured data. That's key. Okay, so video thumbnails have been taken out. For example, like if you rank.
Hey, Bradley.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question, because it'll probably come up if anyone goes to buy this theme, because there's actually two versions, right? There's the 2014 child theme, and there's the one running on Genesis Framework.
Let's see. The semantic pinboard child theme has been replaced with semantic pinvid. You see that? So that's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah, you do not need Genesis Framework to run this.
Right. That's what you
want.
No,
not the 2014, but you do need it if you get the seduction. There's two versions of it, is what I'm trying to say.
On this, hold on, I haven't looked at the sales page because I bought it a while back, so maybe it's changed. Just a moment. Come on. It's this one. It's the pinvid theme. This one.
Okay, the pinvid.
Yeah. It's this one, the pinvid theme. It's $29.97, guys. Go spend $30 and get this theme. It's very, very powerful. I mean, Kevin Pauly knows his shit when it comes to semantic markup. He knows the semantic web. Like, he's an expert in that stuff, guys. So I trust what he did is really good. It's very powerful. So, anyways, so with that, guys, what's really important for us here is to know that the video object is marked up properly, and it is, which means that the video thumbnail image can show in the search results, even though it's on a domain instead of just YouTube, if that makes sense. All right. So, with that said, something else that I want to talk about was I want to show you some different examples of if you guys want, you can also mark up a video. If you don't have a semantic theme and you don't plan on investing in one, at least not right away, let's say you don't want to spend $30, then that's fine. I'm going to give you another example here of how you can mark up a video and do it manually, but it's very simple, and that's the tool that I've shared in Hump Day Hangouts before. Post this in chat for you, Adam. It's the one by Sistrix. So hard to say that. But if we take a look at this, again, guys, this is a great tool because all you need to do is paste the URL of your video right here and click Generate Source Code. So just take your YouTube URL, you paste it in here, click Generate Source Code, and let's just go grab a video. Let me just grab one real quick. So we'll do, oh, wow. Let's just grab this one that I did from Automated Indexing, the Backlink Commando video from last week. So if I paste this URL in here and click Generate Source Code, here we go. Here's your semantic markup. Okay, so this video has now been marked up with structured data. Okay, so now you just go and embed this on in your blog post, and then right here where you can see where it says, let's see, let's copy this and put this in a notepad file. It'll be easier to see. Okay, so there should be a right here where it says description. Between those tags right there is where you would put the text for the body of the the content body in the post. So right after where it says span item prop equals, that's semantic markup, guys. You'll notice item prop equals. You'll always see that when you're talking about semantic markup. So you'll see item prop equals, and it'll give whatever the value is. So like embed URL, it says up here, down here it's description. So that's how you mark up even the description. So this is semantic markup, guys. You just would replace this right here between these tags with your content within the body of the post itself. So that's like where you could put the description of the video for the post itself. And then you could also even use schema.org markup for, which you can see that's what this is, schema.org markup. But you can use that for like NAP, name, address, and phone number, which I highly recommend that you do. But you just have to do all of this in the text editor screen. Again, guys, I'm not trying to get too advanced. All I'm saying is to make it simple, is just if you don't have the semantic theme, if you have the semantic theme, that's what's so easy about it. You just post your post and it's done. Okay, that's it. It's done. You don't have to worry about any of this. But if you don't have that, then you can use this tool to create semantic markup. And then I've already added a test post to one of my test sites to show you that it does indeed show as properly marked up video object. So this is howtoseo.us, which this site, if we go back here, this site right here is not a semantic theme. Okay, and I did not use any semantic markup on these posts. So let me give you an example first of one that's not marked up properly. So we'll take this one, and let's grab this URL, and we'll go back to the structured data testing tool, paste that in, we'll click fetch and validate. Okay, if we go take a look at this, you'll see that the only structured data here on the entire page is going to be most likely my social box. Right? So if we take a look at this actual post here, the only thing on this page that is showing as structured data is the social box down here, and that's because this plugin was coded properly. This is a good plugin. I think it's I think this one is Starbox. It's either Starbox or it's Fancy Author Box. It's one of the two. And this was coded properly with proper structured data, which is great because a lot of plugins aren't coded properly. So this is one of the good ones. I have to let you know if you're interested in which one that is. But again, that's showing that it's the author card. See that? That's the only structured data on this site because that particular site is not a structured site. Okay. However, what I did was I took this one video, this one post from the same site, so I'll prove it. Go take a look at it. And I took that video and I copied the URL and I pasted it into the Sistrix I can't pronounce that, this tool here, and I created the embed code, okay, and here's that post with that code. Here's the title. I know there's a weird spacing there. You could probably fix that with CSS. I'm not a CSS coder, so I don't know how to fix it. But all of this content from here to right here is inside that div tag for, or that span tag for description, which I just showed is this right here. So this content right here that's highlighted from here to here is in that particular tag. Now if we take this URL and we go over to the structured data testing tool, we paste it in, click fetch and validate, you're going to see, so again, the same theme that's not a structured theme, it's going to show the same author box, author card, which is properly marked up, and then you're also going to see video object. You see that? All good? So that's proper video object markup by just using that free tool. So that's a free alternative, all right? Lastly, there's another alternative that I use for a lot of my sites that I use in my broadcasting network or my distribution networks, guys. So a lot of you probably don't know this because I haven't talked a lot about it, but a lot of my video syndication networks are not just Web 2 based. They're PBN sites that I have repurposed to be distribution sites for my network. So in other words, like I'll distribute content from my main source, which could be my YouTube channel, for example, but it will post to an old PBN site because I don't use PBNs the traditional way anymore, or very few of them anyways. And then I have an IFTTT network around my PBN site, which is now just a broadcasting site. So my video posts to the PBN site, and then it syndicates out to its own IFTTT network from there. And so I've got a lot of them like that. So a lot of my old PBN sites, I'm certainly not going to go put on the semantic theme because, first of all, you don't want to continue to use the same theme on all your network sites, right? That would leave a footprint. So instead, I use a bunch of free WordPress themes, and a lot of free WordPress themes are coded very poorly, and they will not pass structured data at all, or they'll even show up with errors. A lot of free themes are like that, and they're free. They don't have the budget to support proper coding, right? However, there is an alternative for that, which is the Yoast Video SEO plugin. Okay, that is a paid plugin as well. Let me grab that real quick. Where is that? Right here. I'm going to grab this and drop this in chat for you, Adam. And then we got to move on. It's 5:30. But I think this is important, guys, for you to get a background and understanding of what it is that we're doing here and why we do it, besides just telling you, hey, do this, right? I think it's important that you understand why we're doing this, okay? You get better at SEO that way. Just knowing that you should do this is one thing, but knowing why you should do it is something entirely different and much better. So video SEO for WordPress, if you're using the Yoast SEO plugin, this is an add-on that adds on to that. And yes, it can be very, very pricey. If you're only going to do one companion site, then, you know, $69, it's not that big of an investment, and it's worth it if you're not going to. But in my opinion, why not just buy the semantic theme for $30 instead? But if you have a bunch of sites or several sites that you've used for video stuff in the past and you don't want to leave a footprint and everything else, this is a good option as well. And so I'm going to show you, here is one of my sites that I have that installed on, the Video SEO plugin, and it will mark up all of your, this is just a demo site that I use, but I've got it connected to our How to SEO network. This is one of our syndication network sites. But again, if I click on this, for example, wow, this was just syndicated from, today, look at that, I'll be damned. So my RSS recipes are working, because this literally, or my IFTTT recipes. This was just the Hangout we just came off of, and it's already posted. Isn't that cool? Anyways, this right here, if we take a look at this URL, and we go over to the Structured Data Testing tool, paste that in, click Fetch and Validate, you're going to see that, again, this is a free, wait a minute, you know why? Because that's not actually inserted in the feed. Let me show you what I mean. I bet you that hasn't. The sitemap has this creates a video sitemap, and the video sitemap wraps each video in the proper markup. And I bet you that video is not included yet. And it's not, because the video sitemap does not auto-update. It updates on a schedule, or like when I can't remember how it updates. It's an internal cron, internal WordPress cron that it updates, and it hasn't. So let me just grab one that has been marked up. This is what the video sitemap looks like, by the way, guys. If you take a look, it's video-sitemap.xml, and each one of these are marked up because that's what the plugin does. It marks them up, and it will also allow the video to show up in search, although I haven't tested it since Google changed the rules to see if that's still the case, because I use the semantic theme for those sites now. So I don't know if it still shows, but it used to. Let me double check this. This one it does have the markup. So if you take a look, video object shows all good. But if you look, the other thing is showing an error. And what did I talk about with free WordPress themes, guys? They're not marked up properly, so you're going to get error messages for structured data. But you can see that the video object is correct, and that's because what the WordPress SEO video SEO plugin does. All right, so that's just another alternative, guys. Or if you have large networks, you know, I'm not an attorney, but I know that you can find versions of this that have been cracked. If you have a bunch of sites, you just got to dig for them. So, but it's highly worth spending the money on if you've got several sites. I know it's pricey, but it's a good plugin. But otherwise, you could just go out and buy the semantic theme, and you spend $30, and it will do everything that you need it to do, and you don't have to think about it. It's done. Okay, highly recommend that. Support Kevin Pauly. He's a good guy. Okay, so the next thing, guys, is there any questions on that before I move on? Because the next part's we're gonna kind of move very quickly. Is there anything that I need to answer specific to that?
No, not right now. I don't see anything.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, then let's get into. Okay, guys, I hope that was helpful. I hope you learned something, guys. Again, if you didn't learn anything yet from that, then what I would suggest that you do is go to that link that I dropped, or that Adam dropped onto the page for structured data, the Google Developers site, and just like I said, spend an hour and go through there and digest that content. It's not a whole lot. It's not real heavy. It's not real thick. You know what I mean? Like, you can just go through that content, and it will give you a better understanding. If you have to read it a couple times, by all means, do it. Okay.
Hey, Bradley, going back through, I just saw that Andrea had a question.
Okay.
She's asking, do you add content as posts only, without video, to your companion websites?
Well, you can, but I don't. I mean, honestly, why? I mean, you can. Don't get me wrong. You can treat it just like a normal blog. So some posts will have posts or videos, and some won't, if you want. But I use it specifically just as another way to syndicate my videos. By the way, this is something that I almost glossed over here, and I'm glad I didn't. Let me go back to the presentation for a minute. But yeah, you can. Okay, so there's two reasons. There's another reason, part of the concept. Let's go back to that for a moment. Why? Not only did from what I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation today, the beginning of the lesson, where I said it's important to build a brand on your own website outside of YouTube as well. Plus, it really does help with the authority, guys, and with the authority of the channel too. Having an associated website passes authority to the channel, as well as it reciprocates. It passes authority to your website as well. Does that make sense? But the next thing is posting. Okay, there's a couple ways to do the posting to your website, which would be your companion website, right? To take it from YouTube to there. You can do it manually, which we just discussed. Okay, so once the video has been published to YouTube, you can grab the embed code, and if you're using a semantic theme, all you need to do is paste the embed code on the website in the blog post in the text editor, right? And put it in the description, which in the description, guys, you can take a look at the VA Hangout site and use those as a kind of examples there, as you know, what I do for the description. I typically will put a brief description underneath the video, content of just written content, and text, and then I'll put the NAP, the name, address, and phone number of the business, but I still only link out. I don't link to the customer's website or the client's website. I link to either the Google Plus page, if they have a Google Plus local page, and back to the YouTube video, and that's it. Because what I found is that if you do a bunch of if you do like I've had some of my video syndication companion websites de-indexed before, because I was doing a lot of external linking to client sites, and I've had them de-indexed, guys. So I'm telling you, the setup that I have now, with just putting content, written description underneath the videos, and then doing a link only to other Google products, which would be the Google Plus page, if they have a local page, and also linking back to the YouTube video itself, then I've had some of those sites for years now that have not been de-indexed. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But you can do it manually. If you're using a semantic theme, all you have to do is publish the post itself. You're done. If you're going to do it, if you don't have a semantic theme, then you can use the tools like what I showed to mark it up. Or you can automate it. And guys, you can automate it two different ways. You can automate it using IFTTT, because you can set up a secondary IFTTT account where you set YouTube as the trigger and your self-hosted WordPress site as the action, and you connect that your self-hosted WordPress site as a channel, Okay, that's a little bit buggy though, and there's also plugin conflicts if you have plugins and stuff that sometimes will prevent it to post to your self-hosted WordPress site as it should. However, as I just showed you guys here a moment ago, let's take a look at this. This site right here is being triggered by an RSS feed. I'm sorry, by IFTTT. You can see this is the webinar that we just came out of. This is the Hump Day Hangouts that we just came out of 45 minutes ago, and it has already posted to here. And this is being used. This was been done because this is automated. So this is an automated posting done by IFTTT. What I don't like about this is it makes a small video and it's always aligned left. You can't center it. I like the videos to be centered. Again, your companion website, in my opinion, if you're going to automate it, you should use something a little bit. This is a secondary website, guys. This is like part of my distribution network, right? So I don't care that it looks like this. But for, you know, Virginia Hangouts, I take much more care with this. Okay, so you can see that you know, I take more time. So for example, if we look at like this is a client that no longer pays me. So his video is right now unlisted. It's still on the site, but it's unlisted, and you can see that I've taken a lot more time. You can see the only thing I'll ever link to, guys, is another Google property. Okay, I don't link out to the client site here. Now, this does link out, but it's through a redirect from my own domain, number one, and number two, it's a no-follow link. Okay, so that's okay. That's different, and again, we'll talk about that maybe another time, but that's part of what the agreement is I had with that video production company. But I don't recommend linking out to anything other than Google products if you can get away with that. Okay. But what I wanted to mention was, you know, there's another tool that I do use on a lot of my sites, a lot of my distribution network sites, which is called Simple Video Press. And this is not an affiliate link. I tried to get an affiliate link, but they don't have an affiliate program for this. So you guys are going to get the raw URL. It's actually not expensive at all for this, and this will completely automate bringing posts in. Keep in mind, guys, what this will do is this will actually connect. You have to authorize it like you would anything else that connects through the API, and you have to authorize it to your channel, and then it will automatically pull the videos in. And it's got a lot of cool features that they actually just recently added within like the last maybe 6 weeks that it didn't have before, where you can do a lot of really cool things with it. And this plugin is a great plugin, and it's not that expensive. You can get a multi-site license for $39 for up to 3 websites. Unlimited websites is $150. Again, it's totally worth it. I use this plugin on a lot of my distribution network sites, which again are old PBN sites that I repurposed to be video syndication sites. And this automatically does the posting for me. All I have to do is upload to my YouTube channel, right? And it will automatically pull in the video and post it. It does it 100% on autopilot. And then my IFTTT networks around my distribution sites will automatically post out. So it's like this snowball effect, and it's done 100% automated. Okay, and that's another way to rank videos, right? So one thing I did want to show was I wanted to walk through an installation real quick just to show you, because I do not have that installed over here. But I do want to show you guys how to do that real quick. So let's just run through this very quickly. We're running out of time again, as always. All right, so we're going to upload. Let me jump into my plugin directory and pull out what I'm looking for. I think I was already in there. Yep. Install. Activate it, and I'll show you. Let's go down to Simple Video Press. I've been using this plugin for about 1.5 years. Really, really cool. Let me pause the screen real quick just for a moment while I activate the license. Okay, so now that this has been updated, now we just click Sign In with Google. Okay, I'm going to select, let's see, this is part of the How To SEO network, so I'm going to select that. Actually, this is part of the Semantic Mastery network. Let's go down and grab that, actually. Where is that? It's right here. Okay, we're going to authorize it, so we're going to say accept. It's going to give us our code here. We can copy that, close this out, paste it in here. We're going to click Save Access Code. Now, it's going to take a few minutes, so I'm going to move on. We'll come back and check on it, because what it's doing is it's reading. First of all, it's authorized, and now it's reading all of the videos on the channel, and we can actually import all of our old videos. So some of you guys that have been asking about how you take a channel, I didn't want to talk about this until after we went through this in the masterclass. That's why I didn't mention it before. But some of you had asked about having videos on a channel that you want to resyndicate, and this is one way you can do it with this paid plugin. But you set up a syndication network with your with a self-hosted WordPress site, and then you use this plugin, and it will pull in if you tell it to, which I'll show you in a minute once it's done reading, and it gives us the options panel. We can actually have it pull in all of the videos, all of the public videos from the channel, and then create posts. And when it does, if you have an IFTTT network set up to that, fed by that WordPress site, then it will auto-publish all of those out and syndicate them out. And that's one way that you can do it, okay, and automate it. All right. So anyways, while that's running, guys, I'm going to move on and talk about one other thing. I was going to talk about this, and honestly, I don't think we're going to have time, but about embedding playlists. But let's just do an example. We'll kind of gloss over this very quickly. Hopefully, you guys will know. Okay, shit, it's done. So let's finish this. All right. So Simple Video Press, you can see it's now connected to the Semantic Mastery YouTube channel. Right here where it says auto publish video posts, if you check that, it will automatically post every time a new post or new video has been published to the channel. That's how you automate this, guys, 100%. I do not like to import YouTube description because, again, guys, I've had many video syndication sites de-indexed over the years, or especially in the last year, because I imported YouTube description. So I no longer do that, and that's why our recipes are set up the way they are in the IFTTT SEO Academy to only post a link back to the video itself and a link back to the channel instead of the description. Because if you're posting to sites, they will get terminated if you have the description with links and stuff like that. Okay, so I click Don't Import YouTube right here. If you have if you're going to be auto syndicating stuff, guys, like I'll usually just have like a videos category that you set. This is just a regular category, so post categories, you just set that. Normally I'll have like just videos. This one, again, is just kind of like a test blog, so I don't have anything set up. I'm just going to say marketing. We'll click marketing. So that's the category that by default all videos will be posted to. Okay. Next thing is there's a couple like player style settings here that you can adjust. I don't like the YouTube, hide the subscribe button above the video because I found it makes the pages load slowly. So I'm going to go ahead and disable that, but I'm going to leave everything else on. This is really cool, guys. Look at this. You can actually, and I didn't know this, but you can put an opt-in form right on your videos or right under your videos, the opt-in box. So if you're trying to drive traffic to, build a list, or you're trying to drive traffic to potentially, a client or something like that wants opt-ins, you could do an opt-in box and put your autoresponder code in there. I'm going to go ahead and click Save Changes before we move on. Just a moment. Also, advanced tweak used with caution. Oh, by the way, this is going to tell me. Let me show you for a minute because that plugin, I need to download the updated version. Hold on a minute because this is going to update and show even more options. So let me update the plugin real quick. They added a bunch of new social features now, which are really cool. Again, they just updated this recently, and I haven't even had a chance to play with everything yet. Video player style. They've got different player styles now. By the way, if you're gonna, I'm gonna hide the affiliate link because they don't even have an affiliate program yet, so I don't know why that's there. Trust me, I looked. Right here, it'll automatically put the video to the YouTube link, which is what we do on our recipes anyways, right? When we code our recipes out. And I'll show you that in a minute because I'm going to import some of these videos. But you can see that now here's the sharing and call to action buttons. If you want, you can turn on. These are just sharing buttons here, but if you want, these are the social media buttons here. But if you want to turn on sharing buttons, you can turn on, like let's say Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. We'll turn those on. Here's call to action. These are buttons that actually turn on inside the video itself, which is really, really cool. I'm going to click Save Changes real quick because I'm not going to turn those on. There's the opt-in box stuff. And then down here, by default now, this plugin will change the video player to an SVP type player, so it's not YouTube as the default player. I don't like that because I want the YouTube embed. Okay, so I turned that off, and so it says use YouTube embed instead. Okay, so I always do that. I want to turn that off because I want the YouTube code on the page, right? Instead of masking it or wrapping it in some other player code, I want YouTube code. So, but there are, if you were using this more for a sales blog instead of for SEO, then it would make sense to have it wrapped in the SVP video player or to protect content, that sort of thing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click Save Changes one more time, and we're going to import new videos. The problem with this is it's going to probably, which in fact is going to be duplicate content because I've got all these videos are already syndicated to this site through our IFTTT, but I'll go back and just delete them after this presentation. And we're out of time, guys. But once it's done, let me see if I can. I don't know if I have an example that I'm ready to show you at the moment. Oh, cool. Look, 81 new posts added that quick. Holy S. Let's go take a look at this. Let's go look at all posts. And you can see, let's see, published 4 hours ago, published 52 minutes ago, published 51 minutes ago. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, here's one right here. Here's one that was pulled in by SVP. It was just posted by Simple Video Press right here. And you can see, and depending on the theme, and I probably didn't set the colors, but here's the share buttons that we just added. And then here's powered by Simple Video Press. That's the footprint. I'd get rid of that. I guess I didn't save that. And here's the watch on the YouTube page. And that's it. That's the only thing I have it set to do. So it's just syndicating videos. You see that? So it's a really cool plugin, guys. Again, I think I've spent a little bit more time on this than I wanted to. But I highly recommend, especially if you're going to be building out elaborate networks, this is something that you can do to automate it 100%. Okay? So the last thing that I was going to cover, which I'm going to have to cover at another time, perhaps next week, would be embedding YouTube playlists. I know that was a question that's come up on how to do that and how to silo a website to match the playlist silo and how to get the most effect out of that. And we were going to talk about that today, but once again, we ran out of time. So we're going to go ahead and I'll take just a couple questions, and we're going to wrap it up, and we'll save that for next week. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for everybody being here. Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Marco.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good one.